It's always hard to begin a piece, and especially this piece when it's a new territory for me. And so I looked through the libretto and I thought, what can I start with? What can I start? And so I found two scenes which I could relate to. So one scene is about food, and another scene about sex. So I was reading Emma's scene about food, and it describes how all these posh suffragettes come to Lady Rhondda's house, and her husband arranges for lots of tea time treats, puddings and soufflé and all kinds of things. And soufflé, it's small and light. It immediately gave me tunes and textures. And they know that they should support their sisters in prison, but they see all these little things and they cannot resist it, and so they stop their faces. It's a hybrid. It has elements of cabaret, of opera, of operetta, vaudeville and music hall. At the moment there is a score which has all the voices, all the text, and the music is written for the piano vocal score as they call it. And now I am orchestrating. It's like coloring. I have a canvas, I have a skeleton, and now it's probably the most exciting work for me is to make it all alive. And the ensemble in this piece is going to be very small. It's 10 people. I had to be very economical when choosing my instruments. So I have clarinet, a trumpet, trombone, tuba, accordion, I love accordion, a piano, drum kit, a violin, cello and double bass. And so now I'm coloring, making up this texture. I wrote some words. The first act finishes with Toodle Pip. because I was reading lots of P.G. Wodehouse, and that's pretty much the same era, and Emma approved.
I guess it all came about 2 years ago. We were just finishing In Parenthesis, and David Pountney said, "How would you like to write an opera about suffragettes?" And I said, "Of course I'd like to write an opera about suffragettes." And he then told me about this basically unsung Welsh heroine of the suffrage movement, Margaret Haig Thomas, later the Viscountess Rhondda. And he said, read this biography, see what you think. So I had a look at it and I thought, wow, this is just amazing. There's enough material in here for 3 operas.
So today was our very first rehearsal with Maddie, who's playing Margaret Mackworth, and it was just a run-through really to look at her journey throughout the piece.
Today we're exploring some of the music and Margaret's character and how she fits into the plot. Very natural, and there's lots and lots of text to get over the music, so we're just trying to find our way through that. And also for Maddie, who's playing Margaret, to see how she might start to approach the character before we start production in 4 weeks' time.
It's funky, like quite a lot of, it's quite nice to sort of step away from Wagner a little bit and take on some music halls, cabaret. I don't get an opportunity to do that kind of repertoire very much, so it's a real opportunity to sort of show off, to be honest.
It is quite fun, Rhondda rips it up, hence the title. Rips up the rule book, but also rips it up musically as well.
Out and out to see those chests expand.
And David said at the very beginning, he said, well, how about we do it as a comedy? Let's not make it a worthy piece where we're trying to sort of make a political point. Let's do it as a comedy, because actually there is a lot of comedy to be found in the world of provincial suffrage. Jeeves and Worcester would have been an influence. Gilbert and Sullivan has been a big influence. I suppose, dare I say it, a little bit of Carry On. But yeah, it's slapstick, but it's also very much word comedy as well. most of it rhymes, all the songs rhyme, and that was part of the brief that David Pountney gave me. He said, I want rhymes better than Cole Porter, so no pressure.
Never done before, let's show them we prepare to fight for a cause we can't ignore.
All the roles are taken from the Welsh National Opera Ladies' Chorus, including the men. The male roles in this, so we have Asquith and Birkenhead and Churchill, all played by women.
A very dynamic show. They quickly change from women to men, from singing this, ooh, to singing that. Ah.
A more fascinating subject you really couldn't hope to have.
I've been living with this nearly 2 years now from when David first approached me, and I'm 110% excited if that's possible.
Secretaries and clerks to fill administrative positions. Let's have you.
It couldn't be more relevant to the times this year, and I think what's wonderful about it is that hopefully it'll ignite what we're fighting for today even more, you know, as we travel around the country.
It has sad moments and happy moments and funny and hilarious and tragic. And I hope that my audience will feel everything, that they will sympathize when she's falling in love, when she's in prison, and I hope that they will sing along when they're dancing.